HBO had their Hard Knocks. They've been doing this for years. Teams don't really want to be involved. Most teams don't, but they picked the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is outspoken. He's controversial. He's a big superstar. He's got a major brand. And so you look around the NFL, and one of the only teams that was eligible to be on Hard Knocks was the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. And so, they kind of admitted it. Aaron admitted it. We were forced to do it. And so my takeaway on the version of Hard Knocks last night is Aaron is selling a new version of Aaron. And he's selling it to you, and he's selling it to me, and he's selling it to Saleh, and he's selling it to America, and he's selling it to his teammates. It's a sanitized presentation of social media. HBO and Aaron Rodgers are showing you that people are wrong. Aaron's a good guy. It felt like a little overkill. But in the NFL this year, it is the season of I don't know at quarterback. Russell Wilson, Sean Payton. I don't know. I got to watch. Dak Prescott without Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy calling plays, and he doesn't have old Mr. Reliable Zeke in the backfield. I don't know. People like him. I don't know. Jordan Love to the Packers. I really don't know. I have no idea. I read The Athletic every day, Packer stories looking for hints. I get nothing. They're at practice. I don't know. 3 rookie quarterbacks. Can't wait to watch Anthony Richardson, Colts. I don't know. And then Aaron with a shaky O-line where they don't really have their left tackle of the future and a defensive coach in maybe, arguably, the toughest division in football. I don't know. You don't know. But I do know Aaron and HBO are putting their best foot forward to make Aaron more likable. Everything's okay. Aaron gets along with everybody. A lot of the stuff you heard on the internet in Green Bay is nonsense. This is a good guy. And whoever said bad stuff about Aaron, they don't know what they're talking about. Now, I would argue 13 years ago, I thought I was the first person and the only person, as everybody was sort of slobbering over his talent, to ask real questions that needed to be asked. Why didn't he get along with his brother? Why doesn't he get along with his parents? I don't like his leadership. He seems prickly to me. There's not a foxhole quality. He's not always embraceable. He's a little snarky. I don't love his personality for a star quarterback. And then I think cracks developed over the next 13 years where even like journalists who are sort of in his corner, we've just asked questions. I don't really care about his vaccine stance. I don't really care. I have neighbors, friends that don't trust our government. I'm not going to weigh too heavily on that, opine too heavily on that. I took the vaccine. I thought it was a smart thing to do. Who knows if I'm right? I even took a booster, I think. Who knows if that's right? But Aaron has had a personality for 13 years. I've said before, I think he's more of a bailer than a baller. He has very few come-from-behind wins when you consider how many games he's played. He tends to check out if he has a bad start, a bad half, a couple of picks. But I think what this is, what HBO is for Aaron, is actually a gift. It's a rebrand. Tom got this in Tampa, right? All of a sudden, it's fun Tom, right? When Tom went to Tampa, he got kind of a rebrand. He could go on social media. He could talk. He didn't need HBO, but Tom rebranded himself. Fun Tom, party Tom, has too much at the Super Bowl celebration Tom. And I think it's made Brady less corporate and much more human and much more likable. Not perfect, nobody is, but much more likable. And I think this is a gift for Aaron Rodgers. It is a chance to rebrand it, to show that, yes, he's committed. Yes, he's a good guy. Yes, he can handle New York. And I think Aaron and HBO are really smart people who have figured it out. I get asked about Aaron Rodgers more than any NFL player. Last night, went to dinner to see a friend. Ran into Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, who just happened to be next door. And I get asked about Aaron Rodgers last night. Believe it or not. What do you make of Aaron Rodgers? And I always say the same thing. He's complicated. There's a lot to unpack with Aaron. He's 39, going to turn 40, I think, in December. He's rich. He's single, no kids, not even sure if he has a pet. It's all about Aaron. He's complicated. I got 6 or 7 stories if I ever wrote a third book that I won't even talk about on the air. They feel too personal. They don't quite feel like they'd fit on this show. He's a very complicated guy, but I think HBO is a great partner, full of smart, talented people. And this is a rebrand to show that Aaron's a good guy. It's all okay. He can get along with others. He's not as prickly as everybody thinks. And so the HBO Hard Knocks Jets version, Aaron version, has begun in earnest. Okay, so there's another show. Let's talk TV and quarterbacks. Johnny Manziel. It's a documentary called Untold. Netflix addressing Manziel's legendary career. And legendary, it's more his persona is legendary. There's a lot in this. Johnny Manziel's agent, Eric Burkhardt, and Johnny Manziel confirmed it. Now, give him credit. He's got no filter. He doesn't care what you think. I think he owns now a restaurant or a bar down in his hometown. He's having a good time. Good time, Johnny. He admits to watching no tape. None. And is almost proud of it. Almost bragging about it. Watched no tape. And my takeaway is timeout. I have two takeaways. Fans make such a financial and emotional commitment to their favorite football teams. This is not baseball. You only have 8 home games, sometimes 9. The tailgating, the tickets, the fantasy leagues, the merchandise. Many fans travel to road games, in-division road games. I have a friend who I think he still goes to every single Seattle Seahawks road game. I think he goes to every single one. A huge emotional, transportation, tickets, financial commitment. And your quarterback won't commit to watching tape? That is discouraging. It's hard to wrap your brain around. It's literally the opposite of what Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota are in their Netflix special. Limited guys, but totally committed to their football, to the organization, to the fans, to their families, to their kids. Johnny couldn't even be bothered to watch tape. So that's my first take. But my second take is one that the media has always struggled with. The media can be fragile, as we know. And they don't like when GMs and scouts come in and they ask personal questions to players. Doesn't bother me a bit. And this is why. I give a free pass when it comes to the quarterback position. I wrote about this, I think, in my first or second book. You ask anything you want to the quarterback. Mom and dad had a divorce, rumors about dad, brother and you don't get along, cousins, family, money. I'm going a mile deep. I want to know everything. I don't with my Mike linebacker. I don't with a wide receiver. I don't with a tight end. I don't with a corner. But the face of my franchise? Yeah, I want to know about the coach. I want to know about the coach's background. I want to know about Johnny Manziel's childhood. I want to know about his parents. Did he grow up with too much money? I was not a fan of Manziel. I said he was going to be a bust. I didn't buy Tebow. I didn't buy my Manziel. I didn't buy Zach Wilson. There's different reasons for not buying into people. I just didn't like Manziel. I thought he was cocky, too brash, outspoken, not corporate, not really into others, mostly into Johnny making money. So it didn't work for me. But this is an example why you should have the right as a GM and a coach to ask any damn thing you want about that player going back to 6 years old. Ray Farmer was the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, and he admitted, he said, it's the reality of the National Football League. He said there are very few decisions made in anybody's draft in a vacuum. The GM rarely says, I'm taking this guy. Head coach doesn't do it. The owner doesn't. In this case, it's the reality of the NFL. I drafted him. I have to live with it. Johnny Manziel is mine, and I have to own it. Yeah, you do. Because it's not like Johnny Manziel was quiet and covert and reticent. You could sit down with Johnny, have a beer with him, and he would open up. To his credit in this series and his personality, he's an open book. Most people, Manning, Brady, Russell Wilson, there's filters. Aaron Rodgers has developed one. Kind of. Johnny's got no filter. And that's why it's so troubling. Because he would have told you what he is. He bragged about what he was. And Cleveland went all in. But it really jumps out to me is that fans give so much to their football team. People travel. I mean, I hear stories about the commitment people make to their teams, the merch, the tickets, the travel, the tailgating. People stay overnight. It's hotel rooms. And the quarterback wouldn't watch tape? Any? He bragged about it. 0. Ask questions. Go deep. Childhood. Beyond. Get uncomfortable. I want to know about all of it. what a calamity the Johnny Manziel era in Cleveland, albeit brief, was. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.